Hi, everyone.
Hi.
This is Cass and Jamie, in the middle with Cass and Jamie.
Hi there. How are you?
I hope at this point you know who's Cass and who is Jamie.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Cass.
How are you?
How are you? How are you? How have you been, Jamie? How was your week?
Been fine. It's been a typical week. I don't think, kind of like a lot of people out there. I mean, it's probably the same week that you had this last week, the week before that, the week before that. But starting to get a little bit more into the holidays, as you can tell with the decorations around the house. But yeah. But then just kind of like that on the holidays. I think a lot of people are. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm okay. We actually on the weekend went to a tennis tournament, which we haven't done for a while because we were away traveling and moving about.
Yeah.
So that's something that we did. That was good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's been one of the other things too. A lot of kids, they just haven't been able to participate in their normal activities and sports on top of just going to school and the socialization. So anyway, that's good. That's good. Good. Well, have you been watching the news lately?
Yeah. Whoa.
Did you see the thing about Dolly Parton?
What, apart from the whole participation in the vaccine? Yeah. What else did she do?
She saved one of her co-stars just the other day. She yanked the child out from an oncoming car and saved her life. So I mean, yet again, Dolly's still proving that she's just the angel that we all think that she is. And
that's so amazing. She's a lovely lady.
I don't know. She's an angel and a queen of country music. But speaking of queens,
hey, yes. All right. So this is a little bit exciting for me on several levels. First of all, I'm going to tell you a story about Dairy Queen, and it's a fast food chain. For those who don't know, just like me, because I didn't know.
And it was a staple of my childhood. But anyway, whatever.
Because I've never been. So I'm guessing it's all ice cream and milkshakes.
And
but apparently they do burgers too. But anywho, the good and great news about this is that in a small town of Brainerd in Minnesota, a Dairy Queen drive-through had this happen to them. A gentleman one day drives through, orders something for himself, and then he says to the cashier, he goes, "I'd like to pay for whoever is behind me for their order, for the whole thing."
Right.
And she was astonished, and this does happen every now and then, and so she did that. And then she thought, all right, well, this is great. Sure. And then suddenly it picks up. It picks up. And then by the end of the day, or sort of mid through the day, she has like 48 cars. Yeah. And so she decides to post this on the Dairy Queen Facebook page and say, guys, I don't know. And I think I'm almost quoting her. I don't know whether it's sunshine or whether it's Christmas spirits here. But this is amazing, and let's keep the caring train going.
That's great.
I know. But what happened is that in 2.5 days, they had 2.5 days, they had 900 cars paid forward. That's what it's called now. It's paid
900
forward.
cars?
Which to me sounds weird because it's really pay backwards, but pay forward.
In a small town?
Yes, 900 cars. 900. Isn't this like typical huge American movie story?
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, Americans are so generous. I mean, we don't. I'm not surprised by it at the same time. I know, or something.
But no, you guys are for sure. But I think Europeans and Asians are very, very giving too. But it's just that it don't have drive-throughs, and I think that the concept of that is a little, drive-through.
We're very lazy with our giving.
ATM drive-through for crying out loud. Come on.
We're very lazy with our giving. We don't even have to get on the cars. Like, I don't like. Yeah, here I'll just pay for the person behind me because I don't want to get on the car.
But I can tell you that I have started using the drive-through ATM too. So
it's fantastic. I mean, you don't need to do
anything.
Very
convenient, especially in the COVID times. You don't have to
where I went to school, we had drive-through liquor stores.
Oh,
I'm not kidding. Drive-through liquor stores. I think they probably changed that with a lot of the driving laws in the U.S. over the years. But anyway, it's been interesting. The other thing that I saw that was interesting in the news was about Mayor Pete Buttigieg, who's been appointed.
Buttigieg, is that
Buttigieg?
Oh my God, because I would never be able to pronounce it.
It's such a hard name. You look at it, you go, how do you even pronounce this?
Yeah.
It's like Buttigieg. I just go like Buttigieg. And so Mayor Pete, as he's known, who ran for president this last time.
Yes, very young gentleman.
Oh, yes, very, very young, but extraordinarily accomplished. I mean, he's a veteran. He was a war veteran. He's a Rhodes Scholar, Harvard grad. Amazing resume on this guy. And he was mayor of South Bend. And yeah, probably not exactly ready for president, but is a rising star and has been made to be, has been nominated, I should say, been nominated to be Secretary of Transportation, which is the first time a gay individual has been appointed or nominated for a cabinet level or a cabinet position, I should say.
Well, it's another
It's a big
first in this administration.
It's a big,
isn't it?
it's a big first, and a lot of firsts that are happening in this administration. But you know, I like we said before, I mean, I think these firsts are great, but let's kind of keep going. And
yeah, and I think at some point we will not. I don't think that would be even a mention.
Yeah.
At some point, this
be.
will be such a normal thing, and I think it should be, and we'll get there. And I think we're getting there slowly.
But you know, there's going to be a lot of controversy around this, and there's going to be a lot.
For
of,
sure.
You know, there will be a lot of those people who don't like it, and they're going to be upset about it, and that kind of goes into some of the things that you know. Obviously, this election that we just had, a lot of people are still very upset and not very happy with the results, or they question the integrity of the election.
Are you referring to Matthew McConaughey?
Oh, yeah.
Is that where you're going with
That's
this?
exactly where I'm going with this. Matthew McConaughey,
Yeah.
who, out there who know him as, you know, the Academy Award-winning actor who has been an outspoken person on many liberal causes, I would say, is actually calling out the liberal Hollywood side and sect, and calling them out and saying that they really are not. They need to give the Trump supporters the same kind of respect that they wanted and desired for themselves. They should allow the Trump supporters their time
it is extremely
understand this.
Yeah, it is extremely loud how they're being the liberals being towards the Trump supporters, and I think very disrespectful and not giving people a chance to just voice their concerns. I mean, remember what happened 4 years ago? And then with Al Gore, I can't even do that.
With
now.
Hillary, with Hillary.
I mean, come
you know,
on.
and quite honestly, there were a lot of Democrats that never got over that and so forth. But the deal is, the Electoral College is how you get elected, and we just had the Electoral College certify
Finally, right?
their
So
elections
like,
on Monday.
the-
So we have now a certified election by the Electoral College. We still have one more step to go to have Congress certify that
that's
in
more
January.
of a
It should be, but who knows?
formality, right?
Who knows in this environment, quite honestly. But you know, I think that it's important for us to realize and recognize, and I think that Matthew McConaughey, who's getting a lot of pushback on this, and
which is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, and by other liberals like himself saying, "How dare you criticize our opinion on this, or taking the other side?" But what he's saying is he's pointing out is the hypocrisy of what they're doing, and also they're stifling one of the core measures of our country, core values of our country, which is free speech.
Yeah.
And they're stifling people's ability to freely express themselves, and so forth. And that goes on both sides.
Listen, it definitely goes both on both sides. But I have to tell you that do you remember when the polls for when Hillary and Trump were fighting for the presidency?
Right.
The polls were all saying that it will be Hillary. It will be Hillary. And in my opinion, is that a lot of people were not comfortable enough to voice their opinion out to the poll takers because that they were pro-Trump, because they didn't feel comfortable, because they knew that people are going to look at them funny or something or other. And this is what he's proving, and it's been proven more and more, the fact that people are less comfortable with voicing their opinion because it doesn't agree with the liberal, very vocal
media, the news,
yeah.
or the main voices that are out there, and then they call people stupid, ignorant, redneck, whatever, and that's not fair, and that is very unfair for them to criticize people in that way. Calling names, you can disagree with people, but don't call them names. Don't attack them physically, verbally. I mean, there's been a lot of violence around this too.
It's been 4 years of President Trump election. President Trump in the cabinet, right, in the White House. And all through those 4 years, they were bitching, saying that the elections were wrong, were rigged.
Well, Hillary really won when she won, more votes. Well, yes, she did win more votes, but she didn't win the Electoral College, and that's where the game is.
I was just going to say, I'm sorry, but because the system is so that the Electoral College really makes a decision.
That's where the game is, and that's where the decision's made, and they didn't play it right, and they were too busy. They were too busy measuring the curtains in the Oval Office for them to care about Erie, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and so forth. They took them for granted, and that's where a lot of this anger and frustration within the Democrats and Republican Party that have been Trump supporters has come from. Has been the feeling that they have been they've been downplayed, looked down upon, poo-pooed, have been dismissed. They've been
dismissed, exactly.
Yeah, dismissed and treated like a bunch of yeehaws. it's like,
Second
well,
class
we've already
citizens,
discovered,
yeah.
we've already solved your problems. We're so smart. We've already solved your problems. No, we don't need to talk to you. And people are going, we're not idiots. We need to talk.
Think
We like
about
to express
this.
ourselves.
Think about this, and I'm legit here in the middle. I am no for one, no for the other. But I can tell you that the statistics show that almost half of the people who voted
Right.
voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Yes,
There's only
Biden did win.
70
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But the amount of people that voted for Trump, that has to count for something.
Yeah.
You cannot just tell them that you guys are stupid. There must be something that he's done that allowed those people to follow him, right? That they want him to be the president again.
All right. And then you don't,
More than
74
it's
million
not like
people.
18%.
Yeah.
You can just sort of.
Yeah, it's not some small number that you can dismiss. It was 74 million people, and 81 million people voted for Biden, 74 for Trump. But you can't just dismiss like, oh, well, these people are just stupid. Well, come on. We are one country. We're not two countries. I mean, and so you've got to unify. You've got to respect each other, and that goes on both sides in both ways.
Absolutely.
And you have to be able to express yourself, have your opinion. But I think that the Democrats will probably, in many ways, kind of screw this up because they're going to see this. Oh, look, we have a mandate to go out here and do whatever we want to.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't have a mandate. A lot of people that voted for Biden were voting against Trump, just like they were voting against Hillary when they were voting for Trump in 2016. So it's going to be interesting to see how they played this out. But as far as I'm concerned, the best man that they could have possibly gotten that could this job that could bridge that gap and so forth and is a moderate is Joe Biden.
Well, Matthew McConaughey brought an interesting subject
He
of the
did.
division, and I think that's definitely something that is important to raise and to make sure that people feel comfortable that they should be able and could be able to speak freely.
And it all plays into this cancel culture that has developed around. It's not just with politics and things like with the president, but it's
we need to
with
go
gender.
into what is cancel culture, because I think maybe
culture.
not everybody knows.
Cancel culture is the culture that has developed around the country and around the world in the last few years, where if you have a different kind of opinion, or if you've made a mistake, or you've made you've done something wrong, or you've verbalized or said something wrong, and maybe not in the most gracious way,
seen with somebody,
or you've been seen with somebody, or you're
celebrity being seen with somebody.
And this isn't just something that you've done recently. It can go back to way back when you were a kid, or when you were 15. We saw you with a cigarette and a bottle of beer.
Yeah,
we saw or something like that. And we saw this with the Supreme Court hearings this summer, and then you saw the same thing with some of the things with the governor in Virginia and other things where things were being held against people that had happened when they were kids. And it's like, oh, well, they should be kicked out. He should resign. He should do this. He shouldn't be confirmed from the Supreme Court.
Everybody is named.
Yeah, and like, let me tell you something. I don't know about you, but I can tell you, this kid did enough stuff that I don't want my mama to find out about everything I did when I was growing up. And I know, I know that everybody out there has. And if you haven't, you either haven't lived, or you haven't. Or you are a liar. So let's just face it. We've all made mistakes. We all are human. This cancel culture of, just because something happened that was in the past, and like you should not even exist almost. And that's not rare. And where's the forgiveness? And that's what Matthew McConaughey's message is. Where's the forgiveness? Where is the grace in this?
Wow, talking about grace.
Well, or the lack of it.
Or the lack of it. Oh, God, this is sort of to the end of our show, so I wanted to sort of get to a happier story. Well, not happier, but just a little bit more entertaining. I have read a story.
I think it's a little messed up, but anyway, whatever.
Well, no, it is totally messed up. It is completely messed up. But, so the story came out that a lady was proposed to, and she returned the ring to boyfriend or whoever.
Not fiance, because it wasn't accepted.
She didn't accept the ring because apparently the ring wasn't expensive enough. The ring was only $3,000.
Cold.
And her excuse was, this is very cheap. You should be giving me a ring that's anything between 10 to 15% of your monthly income. Mm-hmm. because apparently that's kind of a myth that's going around and girls are believing in it.
And where did that come from?
From what I understand, somewhere in the 80s, like the jewelry.
It was De Beers. It was a marketing campaign that came from
Christ.
the diamond industry, and it is something that was dreamt up by a bunch of advertising executives on Madison Avenue in New York City. Come on,
Right. So
It's
this
not
guy
rule.
gets this girl a ring and proposes, gives her a ring. She says no,
Yeah.
it's too cheap. Her parents call her call him and say, what do you think, our daughter is a trash, giving her a ring like this? This is terrible, get her a better ring. Now, the guy tries to figure out and goes on Reddit and writes down as his story, says, guys, am I the asshole here? And so he explains himself by saying that, look, this has been a tough year, and we all know it, and I'm financially supporting my parents. I am supporting my sister and my nephew. I'm supporting another sister who lost a job. And so I just, felt like, yes, I am making enough money to get a more expensive ring. Yeah. But the year is tough and all of the above mentioned. And also he wrote there that his company said that they're going to be laying some people off, even though he feels like he will be fine.
Right.
So he just felt like he didn't,
He's putting his priorities. He's got his priorities in the right position. Right.
So I was thinking, I was going, hold on a second. So question to this guy. Dude, man, you were dating this girl for I don't know how long, but for however long, it doesn't matter really. Because at the end of the day, you should know that this girl, this B, is a material bitch, right? Because obviously, if she's going after, you should have known that. So why propose now, for instance? Right? Why not wait when things calm down, you feel more comfortable, you don't have to support all of your family, and you can get her a better ring, because that's that's really what she's going for.
Right. Well,
on the other, right?
Yeah.
On the other hand, it could have been a test. But then, why put it out? It just
what?
It just
test
baffled.
For what?
We'll test her in a sense, will she go for it? Whatever. I don't know. But then
are you the evil whatever I think you might be? I mean,
I could be.
Now the world thinks you are. I mean, come on.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then, what the hell? What the hell is going on? And what the hell's going on with people? For her to publicly, for her parents to go and listen, you either know and love this guy and want to do this, or you don't, because you're in it for the ring. Listen. And bitch, man, honestly, you can get an upgrade.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You always upgrade the
later,
ring.
You can get an upgrade for a ring.
But you won't upgrade your man. I mean, come on. Is that, if that's what you're in for,
she
we'll
can do that too.
Well, maybe he can upgrade on his bride. So I mean, let's just see and so forth. But it'll be interesting to see your comments and
absolutely.
About
Please
this,
let us know what you think.
I think that it's really an ongoing story, because this is not the first time I've heard stories like this. I've had personal friends that have had something like this happen to them. And I think that but it says a lot about culture. But I tell you one thing, fellow, I don't know who you are, but you just got the biggest Christmas gift you possibly ever could have, because you missed a bullet twice. Because not only when you marry a girl, you're married the girl, and you also marry their family. So they've already proven both sides, both sets, that they're pretty materialistic and so forth. So go find you a nice girl.
If you guys are curious as me, and I will try and follow up on this, but you also hopefully can look into this and let us know if you know how the story ends, because I at this point don't know whether they're still together, whether they're not together, whether he's gonna get a better ring.
Run.
But I'm thinking maybe ciao,
baby.
Ciao.
Yeah. Sayonara.
Right?
And so that's the best thing that could possibly happen to him. But
weird. I was like, it just goes into, as you say, like this whole culture of people being very. I think the priorities of people have changed.
Are screwed up, man.
Completely. So many people would rather put this money towards a house, or an apartment, or I don't know, an amazing trip, or whatever else.
Well, the good news is that we've already seen that there's a lot of good people still in the world. There's 900 people in 900 cars in Dairy Queen. So we know we all go to Minnesota. Minnesota, nice. But we've always seen that there are the exceptions, but the general rule is it seems like most people are generous and most people are good, and that's great to know. And speaking of generous and good, have you been good? Because Christmas is coming.
Aww, Are you thinking about St. Nick and
Saint
him
Nick.
giving me some presents?
No, I think about I need to run so I don't look like Saint Nick.
Well, good luck
But-
to you.
no, yes,
I
yeah.
think this is my New Year's resolution. I think it's just like it's not going to happen now.
No.
But Christmas is coming, and it's
We have two
literally-
Christmases here.
Yeah, by the way,
have
we
Christmas
do.
1 and
So
2.
we're going to have a special Christmas special. Well, a special Christmas special. We're going to have a Christmas special for you next week, but it will be the Jamie's
Yeah,
Christmas.
December 25th, and then 2 weeks later we'll have Kessa's, which will
Yay,
be
the
January
Russian Orthodox.
January 5th.
7th.
7th.
Yay. So we're going to have another
Sorry.
special there too.
Yeah,
And we'll
so-
tell you all about the differences at some point. So if you guys don't know.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting, to talk about some of the traditions and culture things that we
Yeah.
have, and because I think that's one of the things that we want to talk about in the show is that there's so many of us that have so many things that are in common, much more so than we have differences, and so that's what we want to really get down to and talk about in the middle.
Did you get your presents? Did you get presents?
I have gotten
No
all.
way.
Well, you mean I've received my presents?
No,
or I've shop-
no.
or do I
Have you
shop-
shopped for everyone?
Oh yeah, because
Oh
you do
my
everything
God.
online. Come on, everything
I
everything's
haven't.
delivered.
Well, I am not really in a Christmas mood kind of thing or New
Well,
Year's
there's a lot
mood.
of
So
people, a lot of
I
that.
honestly don't quite feel like No, I spoke to my sister and I'm like, Lisa, what are we getting you? And she's like, can I just send you love? And I'm really willing to receive love as well.
Are you sending Christmas cards this year?
No, I haven't yet. I am literally on the verge. Every single day I'm like, shall I not? Shall I? Do I feel like I don't know what to write? And I can't be bothered. So probably not.
I am sending them out, but I got to tell you, I mean, I don't know about you out there, but we've only received like a handful of cards
Yeah,
this year.
so have I.
And
Maybe
usually
like
we'd have a
2 or 3.
sack on it like this, and I have yet to get mine out. Mine will be going out tomorrow, I promise. But I am sending them out. But I think a lot of people are just kind of like skipping Christmas this year. I'm not going home for Christmas to Tennessee. I'm going to spend it with my family here in the D.C. Maryland area. But
I'm
I
not
will.
going anywhere either.
Yeah, and so we're I think everybody's making the best of it, and just kind of looking at the best Christmas gift that we can have has been that we have a vaccine that's coming out, and that we
And that
have
we're
a
all
light at the
healthy,
end
or
of the
trying
tunnel.
to be,
And that we
trying to
absolutely,
stay.
and
Yeah.
that we all are healthy, and we have our families, and we have love, and that's the best thing that we can have. Because
Send
once
us
you
your
don't have it-
ideas, what you are giving to your loved ones, and how you're celebrating Christmas.
What are you
and
giving
what
me?
are you prepared? What are you getting Jamie?
Joking.
I'm actually going into the special. I'm thinking, should we get like those weird Christmas jumpers? And I went, no, not me.
No, we ain't doing that.
No.
No.
I might
We're not-
put a red
no.
lipstick on, just you'll.
Your red's not my color.
That's good. I'll do it for both of us. Guys, it was lovely being here with you.
Absolutely. Always.
And we'll see you at the Christmas special in
Next
a week.
week. Look forward to it.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yay.